I haven't finished what they gave me so far, but what I have seen so far has been phenomenal. And I know, Jan, for you, it's probably a surreal thing to see brought to life. I mean, how did you go about, working with Nick to really bring your story to life on screen?
Well, Nick called me about what is this 3 years ago? It must have been about that long ago, almost, or a little bit longer than that. And we started talking about how important it was to tell a story, my story, our family story, in a way that others could relate to it, not just check it off their list like this could never happen to me, because it is happening to many, 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 many people. This is the most common kind of child abuse. It's someone, the predator is someone you know, someone that you may already love and trust. You met them in a place of trust. They're your neighbors. They look just like all the good guys. And when you can dissect psychologically how groomers work, how predators work, how psychopaths work, maybe you'll see that person that's in your family, in your neighborhood, congregation, school, sports team, so that you can prevent this from happening to your own child. Or at least you can know you can get on the path of healing. We were lucky, we survived, we healed, and we've been telling our story honestly, vulnerably, exposed like this for a long time. I have extraordinary family members, and I knew they had to be shown that way. And that was really important to me. And Nick and the team did that.
So, I mean, Nick, for you, what was it about the story that really spoke to you to want to be the one to really help drive it to be adapted for the screen?
So when I saw the documentary, I had a similar reaction to most people. I couldn't stop thinking about the story because it is so terrifying and so haunting and so strange. I wanted to understand how it could have happened. I wanted to understand what it felt like as it happened. From a writing and storytelling perspective, it's deeply compelling. But as terrifying as it is, and as bizarre as it seems initially, the more you think about it and the deeper you dig, and this for me was reading Jan and her mom's book, the first book, there is something uncomfortably relevant and very human about it, because all of us have vulnerabilities that could be used against us by someone we love and trust, by a wolf in sheep's clothing, a monster, and that is a hard thing to admit. So I wanted to understand more, and I wanted to do it in partnership with Jan and her family. So the first thing we did was reach out to them. And one other thing I want to say about it is it is a psychological horror story. It's a thriller. It's scary, and it's intense. But if you get all the way to the end, it is also a story about a family overcoming something and coming to a place of healing, a place of forgiveness and greater understanding. And that's a place where the monster has lost his power. And that's what made it so important to tell.
So with that said, then, what was it like looking for the perfect cast to bring this wonderful family to life on screen?
Well, it's hard. I mean, because it's so important. These roles are so complex. They're so delicate, and they require such vulnerability from the actors. And finding young actors to play Jan, I mean, if we didn't do that, we couldn't make the show. And if we didn't find an actor who was able to commit to the role of B and able to make the audience understand how you could come to love and trust and be charmed by this man, the storytelling just wasn't going to work. So we depended so much on this cast, and we got incredibly lucky. I thank God for them. They were amazing.
Here,
Well,
here. It was like looking at my family members, and it was an amazing experience because of their care in telling the story. They wanted to know things. They reached out. We FaceTimed. We had little questions. What would your dad be playing on the piano to wake you up in the morning? Because that's what he did. What were his funny sayings? People cared about who the characters were, and I cared that they were fully formed human beings, even even Berchtold. I mean, he's a fully formed human being. And that was important to show how much they fit in, because that's the truth with predators right now in 2022, which is why I keep telling the story, have a book and a podcast show and other ways to keep telling the story so others can tell theirs, because it's someone they know. It's someone in their family or their immediate circle. And it's such a scary, embarrassing place when you didn't see it as a parent, or when you're coming out from your childhood and trying to make sense of what happened to you and heal from your trauma. I just really am committed to that hope piece, the piece that there is hope, but it takes work and it takes coming together to raise the awareness and to eventually prevent this from happening. It's still rampant in our society today.
Well, I certainly look forward to when this can finally come out so that people can really have that awareness in the modern sense. I think the cast and you all have done a phenomenal job so far, and I look forward to seeing all the way through. So thank you both so much for taking the time to chat. I greatly appreciate it.